Hi everyone, today in this video we're gonna talk about another mental model in order obviously to help you by improving your decision making, since decision making is a methodology, a process that obviously suffers with benefits if we adopt a specific one and not so use the randomness that sometimes so can make us fail in certain type of beats. And then methodologies are important, and obviously so this is where enters the importance of mental models. And then so I expect already you can help me by subscribing and afterwards seeing other videos. And then so today we're gonna try to make you a better person by talking about the mental model zoom in, zoom out. And what is the zoom in, zoom out? The best way I would say that I can present to you is by you first starting to answer this specific question. Have you ever felt stuck in a problem, unable to see the bigger picture? So, when you're doing a problem, sometimes you're too much focused in some details, and too much focused in the context, the present one that you are so putting on, and you not look the major type of image, so understanding better why the problem is important, why you're in reality you're solving, instead of just focusing on solving a problem. Because if you have the ability to zoom out from your specific type of problem that you're facing, you probably can first try to understand why you should spend energy trying to solve a problem, and then so after zoom in and try to solve and understand the details of the problem, but first understand how important is spending time solving that problem in the major scenario. And then so if you sometimes ever feel stuck in a problem, sometimes can be as well, you can give a reason by you not understanding the major scenario, which so bring to you the perpetuation of the time that a problem is going to exist. Then obviously is not something that you would like, since you want to get the things as much fast and quality possible being solved. And then so what you have to focus. You have to focus in all zoom in, zoom out has to be done. So where to focus in details and where so to zoom out to look for major scenario while we're going in our journey. It's like balancing. And then so we will explore how it works, the real life examples, and obviously so how to apply it mainly in decision making and problem solving. So zoom in, zoom out mental model is a way of shifting perspectives to gain better insights. Zooming in means focusing on details, the smaller components, the specific elements of a problem. The zooming out means stepping back to see the bigger picture, the broader context, and overachieving trends. So, but how we tend to do, or how what are like the examples that people have been shown that have been used this mental model in order so to get better results. In business strategy, it could be so a scenario that we can use this specific strategy. So a CEO zoom out to see market trends, to it does analysis like the P-style. He looks as well for the concurrency. He looks as well for what are the trends in the pollution scenario. He looks as well for the technology that are able to the clients in major scenarios. So he's looking and see so what are the scenarios that probably so it will be help if I build a company around it. So he looks for what the has demands, what are so the suppliers that exist that have like lower prices possible, but then so it zooms in for the things that are so the ones that I deal more today to day life, the ones that are a bit more operational. So how to make products, making products, how to the product making, how to manage relationships directly between the workers and co-workers. So we have the major scenario that we have to focus, that are like the foundations of business, that are like what's gonna validate the idea. And then so I zoom in, that is more probably in the day-to-day life of a business, trying to look for the process of what is done in a daily scenario, that probably products, the relationships between people, suppliers, consumers as well. But obviously certain times I have to zoom out, understanding what so is the pathway that I'm following, understanding if it makes sense, looking for macro scenarios as they are so the economic situation of the country that I'm present, if the people are having power of purchase or not, if the suppliers are existing or if they're crowding out from, or they going out from the markets because they're not having profit margin and they're trying to explore other type of markets, trying to understand what's like is the perception of the sector that I'm included in the minds of the consumers. You can have as well evolutions in technology that are like the ones that justify idea, and the zoom in is trying so to put the idea that now is validated by the macro scenarios that are the most determinant ones. And then so I focus in majority of the time in the zoom in. I'm just zoomed in trying to improve the efficiency of my process of productions, but obviously not ignoring the importance of certain times zooming out to understand the pathway and what I'm trying to achieve as vision and mission. And then so business strategy is one of the best examples of the importance of using zoom in and zoom out and alternating between them. We have as well in personal finance. When budgeting, zooming in helps you track daily expenses, while zooming out helps you plan long-term financial goals like buying a house or retiring comfortable. That's something that we do. So basically, what we're seeing that's a pattern between zooming in, zooming out. Zooming in is like where we tend to be the majority of the time, since we're zooming in is like the details, specific details that we face in our today life, in our day-to-day operations. Zooming out is a process that requires a bit more of reflection, and we're not always doing it, since zooming out not tends not to be the ones that are connected with like the most type of quantitative behaviors that we tend to do in our daily life, are more the ones that determine the quality and the pathway that we're gonna so work in when we're trying to do the zooming in process, that is so trying to achieve a goal. But it's the zooming out that determines the whole, if a goal has to be validated as something that we have to achieve or not, if it make means. And then so obviously it's possibly so it's something that as you can apply it in whatever is the field. We have always when you're behaving, we're always behaving toward objective. You just know what's the objective if you have a reflection and understand so what you want to get. And obviously you do the behaviors based in what you tend to think that is more practical, what gives more value. And then so your whole is, if you see, you almost unconsciously you're already doing this process of zooming in, zooming out, trying so hard to be a holistic way to look for your behaviors. We have as well medicine. A doctor zooms in wants symptoms and test results for a specific patient, but zooms out to consider medical histories, lifestyle, and broader health trends. In sports, a basketball coach zooms in so to analyze individual player performance, and zooms out to design team strategies based on strengths and weaknesses. So zooming in is focusing in small parts, zooming out seeing the aggregate way that a system works. And so we have to make this because the system not represents the micro, neither the micro means that I'm controlling the macro. So that's why we have to do balance. Even them kind of being connected, they're not the same. That's why I have to look for them differently. I'd have to spend time differently, focusing in to do different ones in the macro and the micro. But then so that we have so understood what it is, I've used the examples. Now we have to focus on how to apply in your life in terms of methodology. That's like the best way that a mental model so can be applied, because if it's happen, it kind of has a practical usage. Obviously, you're going to have a higher likelihood to just know the theory. So, what could be an application that I've built to this mental model in order to you to use? It's like three simple ways. First, ask yourself, I'm seeing the full picture. So instead of first and before you're gonna spend your time trying to do and probably sometimes being suboptimal type of behavior, trying to look for them, first you have to validate the main idea of what you do. Prior to trying to be someone that tries to arrange time to do a behavior, first understand if a behavior has sense in your scenario, what you want to achieve. So if you're lost in details, take a step back, because when you're lost in details, you're already suspending energy, and you have to understand if your energy you're gonna be so spent well because it's a problem that you have to solve because contributes a lot for your problem. For example, if you're losing details, you're seeing that you're trying to arrange time to get so exercise a bit of an hour of exercise in your life day to day. You now are spending energy. You see who you like having a decision making, where I should spend, what I should so sacrifice to create so this time or not. First, step back and understand what's the main problem of that. Main problem is that I want to do exercise and I'm trying to range time. And then so first I have to validate if exercise is something that I should spend time. So zooming out. Well, science seems to back that it's something that I do. And then now I'm focusing the zooming in and trying so to improve the efficiency and my likelihood of doing and having time so to do the exercise. But so first, before to lost in details and spending time, first go to the broad scenario and then so just after dive into the specifics. So because first when you're facing a problem, for us always first I'm seeing the full picture. It's always the same type the first thing that you have to do. And then second, use both perspectives before making decisions. So switch between micro and macro views to avoid blind spots, and understand that not just because we have one that you as well have done the other one. Look for the macro and then improve and look for the micro to so make the process happen. And then so obviously it's a change, a switch, and as a switch is not something that's natural. And then so we need to practice this type of cycle. Whatever you're doing a problem, see if what is the macro perspective of me doing that problem. Mainly is the reason for why I'm solving the problem, if it has significance. If I say so, that yes, then so I lose time in the micro. That's where people tend to more fall in their today lives. They're trying to make the behavior to happen, but sometimes make a reflection about if the behaviors that you do in your day-to-day life have some type of sense to be so done, and if it justifies you spending time in trying to solve them. So I expect this video gonna help you, and I expect as well to help me by subscribing and seeing afterwards some other videos. See you in the next one.